Hi. We first had a little discussion of how to frame the question why. I mean, technical issues, why? Why technical issues, or how to... So we put the question as, why should you as a teacher or organizer deal with the technical issues? Because sometimes people say, why? They just come, turn it on, and it's ready. Well, it's not. Because as a teacher, you are the one to set up the web seminar with the help of your IT crowd maybe, but you're the one who's going to run it. You need to know everything about the technical issues. Because as we said before, you're the one who has to operate it on the spot, on the time, at the given time, to be flexible, and that's why you as a teacher should really know, should really deal with all the technical issues and be aware of them. And they are your responsibility actually, not the learner's responsibility. It's your responsibility that the learners are online in a working and functional environment. So that's the answer we came up with, why you should deal with technical issues, other than it's kind of obvious. Without technical issues you can't run it. So we were kind of, there were only two of us, me and Andrea, and we were kind of playing around a bit. So we started one way and then we changed it, so here's the drops, the bits and pieces. So we just decided it's really important for you, from a technical point of view, to have some hardware. Without hardware you can't run the webinar. So you need a PCF laptop with really enough RAM, the memory. And Andrea was pushing me into saying, oh, how much? Give me the number. And I didn't know how much memory you really need, so I estimated later. I didn't estimate, so I'm going to tell you now. We thought that 4 gigabytes should be enough. Actually, 4 gigabytes is recommended for Windows and something else, Windows 7 and something else to run. Since most of the webinar things are in the browser, you don't need to install anything to your computer, so the server is taking care of it, sort of. And 4 gigabytes should be enough. If you have less, you can run into serious problems, especially if you're trying to open other applications, play a video, not from the browser, but maybe from your video player, and etc. So 4 gigabytes should be the minimum. So if you can, the stronger machine, the higher end machine you find anywhere around you, please use it. It's gonna save you a lot of troubles. And the internet connection, again, how fast? So we thought, that was brilliant. I mean, lots of people are going to ask this question. Now, some of us will say, I don't know, give it a try and you'll see. Either you are ready for webinar or not. That's what most of us would do, right? Test it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, then what can you do? Are you going to buy extra internet connection for the day? Of course not. Then you just go somewhere else, or you don't do the webinar, or you don't participate. But we thought, and maybe I would really appreciate some help here from anyone who would like to correct what we put there. It's 2 megabits per second should be the minimum. We used 6 megabits per second, and sometimes you could feel that it wasn't enough. But please keep in mind that in Prague, we didn't have one computer per internet connection. In Prague there was always my computer, Tomáš's computer, and an extra computer, which was used for presentation, because I started the Hangout and I invited the presenter from another computer, and Tomáš was also online. So there were these three computers using those 6 megabits per second, plus I bet, now I didn't control any one of you, but I bet you had your computers turned on and did some emailing or something like that, which steals just a little bit, but it does steal bits and pieces of connection speed, right? So, in my estimation, 2 megabits per second should be enough for most things you want to do. With anymeeting.com, go for more. Try to get more. So that's what you should have. Now the major issues is something that you must have, or must just, it's really important. And we thought, okay, let's put it simple. If you don't do this, webinar is not going to happen. So, if you don't have sufficient hardware, nothing's going to happen. You need that, really. User's profile is also needed. You must have user's profile, otherwise, as a teacher, you can't run it. Now, for everybody, user's profile of everybody, or everybody's user's profile, that's optional, because in Google Hangout, yes, you need everybody's user's profile. If you broadcast live through YouTube, then you don't. They just, people just log in not log in, they just click on the link and that's it. For any meeting, again, they don't need a profile in a meeting, they just click. But in any meeting, actually, if they want to register, they need to provide some email address. So if they don't even have email address, and there are people who don't, yes, they are, then they might have a problem, actually. And yes. Now, this is something that proved very serious last Wednesday, right? Provide everyone with a way to access the webinar. Make sure that they get it, that they know how, when, and if they run into a problem, then you should really provide some sort of help or offer a help to those who don't have that much ICT skills. Like, I can't have my Google Plus running. I don't know what I'm doing wrong and I need help. Then send them set of screenshots maybe with, step 1, click, step 2, log in, step 3, click on your name with a plus on it, step 4, accept the invitation, click join, maybe. And then they're online and they are at your disposal and you can command them through the voice over internet protocol. And then it's okay, they're already attached to you. But before that, it's really important, and that's a good way to lose maybe older users or lose people who are really not very happy with computers, kind of nervous around computers. It's a very good way how to lose them forever. Because once they fail in connecting to a webinar, they say, I knew this. I knew the devilish box is going to betray me, and that's it. And that's also a must. If you don't do this, you're probably going to run into troubles, embarrass yourself, loosen other people for saying, it's a waste of time. So have a pre-webinar test round to avoid most glitches. You won't avoid all of them. But if you do this, you can have the webinar up and running. And that's the point. So that's what you must do. Now the minor issues, and again we went through our experience plus something from the text above. Check out whether your browser supports all the features, for example. Internet, I can't, it's not TV, official TV. I can make, product placement. This is kind of product unplacement. We all know that Internet Explorer is not in a very good terms with Google products. Sometimes it goes, browser doesn't support. Use modern browser like Chrome or Firefox. That supports all the features. So try, this is not a big deal. You can just tell the person, okay, don't worry, it's okay. Just copy the link and open your Firefox and insert the link, click, and you're on. So that's not a webinar breaker, but it's a good thing to do. Again, if you open up all the applications before, don't forget it speeds everything up. And this, okay, we need to put it back. The size of the letters to be read and pictures to be seen. Now, the thing that you can see it on your screen or on the screen, it's screen as well. It doesn't mean that everybody sees it there in their computers, because you could have experienced that YouTube videos are actually not high resolution. The YouTube videos in Google Plus don't record in high resolution. So if you set up like size 11, you can see it perfectly. The other people in Hangout, through Hangout, can see it quite well, but people on YouTube, they just see a blur of grey lines sometimes. So make it bigger. Or, the next one, send the documents to the people some other way. Upload it on an online storage or provide them, or use email. Just make sure that when you say, please can you now take a look at, or have a look at page 2 of the document, and you show the document online, make sure that they can have alternative option, open it in their own Word or in their own editor. And should you run into technical problems, make sure that the learners know that this is not the end of the webinar, just because you went blank and they can't hear you anymore. Just prepare some sort of logical framework where you will tell them at the beginning, this is going to happen, and then this and that and that and that. And if something goes wrong and you're out, then they know, okay, we'll wait, and he'll be back, because that's the plan. So that's it. That's what we prepared, and we would be very happy if you could help us, complete the text, because as I said, there were only 2 of us, but That's it. Thank you for your attention.